Hi YouTube, this is Cecilia Lane again. I know I just recently did a video, and that's actually why I'm doing another one now. That video I got a number of responses, many of them positive and then many of them not so positive. A lot of people were really hurt by some of my comments and statements, some which I think, as many people do, you can kind of say things out of your mouth and not really think about how that didn't come out so nicely, or how somebody could have misinterpreted that, or it could have been perceived, or you just kind of say something kind of flip, and you don't think about how harsh that could come out as. So a couple of things I wanted to, number one, apologize. Like I said, I think it was a combination of me saying things and not thinking too much about exactly how I was saying it, and then how that could be perceived or misunderstood, and second, that sometimes what I said was misunderstood. So, like I said, I got some negative responses. One in particular I actually really appreciated, and I wouldn't call it a negative response. It was a very constructive, well thought out, very insightful response, and that was from Simply One Quell. I really appreciated her feedback. I know you said that you wouldn't be following me anymore, and I'm sorry that I don't know, that you feel my contribution isn't of any use to you, but then again, everybody is different, and honestly, that's exactly why I did these videos, because most of the people, not most, a lot of the people that post on YouTube are the superstars. And this has been a theme that, talking to somebody who can really relate to how I'm feeling, has probably caught this thread that's gone through all of my videos, is that I am no superstar. I'm not especially, I have not been successful at all in dieting, exercise, weight loss. I mean, it has been a horrible experience for me the last 38 years. One of the most self-depreciating and defecating experiences ever. And my message that I've tried to convey to others is not that you shouldn't exercise, or you should eat whatever you want, or you shouldn't be following any rules, anything like that. My message has been, you need to figure out who you are. You need to find out what behaviors you can adopt and maintain in the long term, so that you don't continue the cycle of self-recrimination when you fail and fail, and that you don't have to be a superstar to realize that you are wonderful, that you have a lot to offer, that you are interesting and funny and worthwhile, and that you are not a loser. And that's all I've been trying to say all this time. Like I said, many of the people who post on YouTube, they are superstars. I don't even like watching half of their videos, and I'll be honest, because these people are freaking amazing, and I will never be amazing like that. I think that's pretty clear. I think I've made that pretty clear, and it's something that I don't want to keep feeling horrible about. I don't want to keep hating myself for, because that is the life that I'm trying to put away, where I never measure up, where every time you put me up next to somebody else, I am always coming up short because I can't control my eating. I'm just too freaking lazy to exercise. I start something and I never finish it. I mean, years and years of that kind of self-hatred and self-loathing from measuring myself against these super amazing people has just been exhausting to me. And I'm not talking about lowering the bar. I'm talking about changing the way that you or that I perceive myself, focusing on my strengths and just trying to maintain in the area of my weaknesses and not beating myself up about everything, about the cookie that I ate, about working out this week but not working out next week, about having an alcoholic beverage, about shopping too much. You know, anything where the whole cycle of self-recrimination that came from like weight and dieting and exercise and everything, I mean, that was like my number one, you know, hate me point. I mean, and I could spend hours hating myself about all of those points. I mean, really longer than hours. And so, again, my message has really just been about trying to get people to address the internal and do the work to make themselves better inside. And I think all of my videos have really been about my internal journey, and because the emotional journey for me has been the most difficult. And the only reason I've posted those videos and about those feelings is that I did not see those videos out there from other people who were focusing on or dealing with, you know, thinking crazy things in my head, like I said, like the lottery ticket. I mean, that's exactly how I felt about it, you know? It's like winning the freaking lottery, and damn if I could ever seem to win that shit. Like, it was just driving me crazy. And no matter how many times I took on the exercise regime, I did the weight loss program, like, I never fucking made it. I never made it to goal. I never maintained anything. I mean, I just fucking sucked. Over and over and over and over again, I sucked. And it was the most horrible feeling in the world. Almost as bad as looking in the mirror every day and hating what I saw and not being able to see anything of value about who I was and what I had to offer. And so for me, my weight loss journey has been more focused on the mental healing and addressing the multitude of issues that I had, letting go of all that self-loathing and self-hatred, and finding my own path to success. And, you know, I guess that goes back to what I said in the beginning about, you know, that people say things that are flip, or, you know, you just say something out of your mouth and you don't realize how, or you're not thinking about how offensive it can come off, like especially offensive. So I don't think my general message was so horrible. I think that I said some things that I didn't take enough care, take enough care when saying them, so that it came off very flip, as if I was making fun of people, treating them like they were a joke or something like that. And that was not it at all. I was not trying to say that, and I want to also clarify that, to me, I think some people felt that my message was resonating with them, as if it was kind of directed towards them, when it actually was not, because um, focusing on protein first, which I've always said, you can see that multiple times in my video. I talk about vitamins and protein and water, and that's what I've adopted in my eating. I don't talk a whole lot about what I eat and how I eat and things like that. Like I said, I talk more about my mental journey, but whenever I do talk about things like that, I always talk about protein first and water and vitamins and things like that. And I don't say that I eat whatever I want. I say that I eat things in moderation, and that if I eat something bad, then I know that I don't need to be eating anything bad again for the next couple of days or next weeks. But I don't consider myself having fallen off of the wagon. I just make different food choices. It's just food choices. And that is the beauty of the tool, is that I now can choose, whereas before I could not choose. The choice was not there. So I just want to clarify, that I think there's a distinct difference between challenges and focusing on protein and things like that, and somebody doing, and I've seen a lot of people do some crazy different kind of diets, or go really extreme on their protein, really low on their carbohydrates, which I'm not sure. I did Atkins for years, and it's difficult to be that low on carbs all the time. It really is. However, I know I'm already a low carb eater, an Atkins eater, because with the fact that I have to go protein first, and I have such a small amount of food that I can eat at one time, I tend to eat very little carbs. And I always do protein, veggies, fruit, and then carbohydrates last. But that was not what I was trying to say, and I do distinguish a big difference between focusing on healthy behaviors and healthy eating and using tools to assist, rather than going on the pouch test diets and these liquid diet. And the thing is, a lot of times I hear people do stuff like that, like right after they get the surgery, they want to speed up their weight loss even though they're losing just fine, or people want to have started gaining back, and so they go ahead and they start doing crash diets and things like that. Or people just aren't totally happy with their results, and so they resort to crash dieting, rather than trying to adopt different behaviors as a way to deal with that. So some things in particular that I just wanted to mention, some notes I had made from Quell's video, which again I thought was a very respectful, constructive, insightful response to my video and to concerns about my video and things of that nature. And she had mentioned, that I'm not in a community. I've just been vlogging my journey, and she's right. I'm not in a community. I don't come on YouTube very often. I'm not a big Facebook person where I'm on there all the time. I'm just not really into social media. I'm not a social butterfly, period. I'm a very I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I guess I'm shy. I don't have a whole lot of friends. I have, a handful of really good friends, but I've never been one of those people that had, mounds and mounds of friends and lots of people that I'm talking to. I can barely keep up with, what I have. And I'm just not a big social butterfly person. I don't get on the phone and talk to my friends. I don't know. What do I have to say to you every single day? I just don't. And that's just the way my mind works. I just don't have anything to say, and I'm not terribly social, and I am kind of shy, and I'm still, relatively insecure shy. Especially because in the past I've been this fat ugly girl, wallflower. And so I don't really, it takes a lot of, uh, takes a lot for me to approach you and talk to you and stuff like that. I'm pretty good at it in my work environment now, but on a personal basis, I'm still not terribly good at it. And so that's why I'm not part of a community. I'm just not good at that kind of stuff. I never have been. So, but yes, so my perspective has been from vlogging. The other part is, because I'm not part of a community, I think a lot of people got offended by what I said, and I wasn't even referring to the behaviors or the activities or what they were adopting or doing. And again, my video was just about, people adopting behaviors that, number one, they can maintain, and number two, don't continue the negative self-recrimination cycle that often happens, and it has happened for me. And so my message has been for those people, not the people who don't beat themselves up like crazy, and don't they do things obsessively and compulsively the way I do. I don't think I've ever glorified not working out. I don't think. I know I've never glorified working out. I've always been embarrassed and ashamed, a lot more embarrassed and ashamed than I would like to admit. But like I said, I am not the superstar. I try. I do work out sometimes. And in addition to that, I do a lot of walking, a lot of roller skating and activities and things like that. But I am never apparently going to be the workout queen, as much as I would love to be. Like, I've always wanted to be like the yoga woman or the runner or something, and I just never seem to measure up to that. And so it's not that, my message is not that people shouldn't work out and they should expect great results. My message has been, if you are the type of person that struggles with working out on a consistent basis, please don't let that be an opportunity to derail yourself and berate and degrade yourself so that you give up or you end up, going off track. So in other words, if you didn't work out, you didn't go to the gym for the last week or something like that, you're feeling so bad about it, that what do you do to punish yourself? You go ahead and you start eating crazy stuff, eating slider foods, horrible foods that are easy to get in and that don't fill you up, but are that full of calories and make you feel better. Don't do that. Instead, try and accept the fact that you are not a superstar, that you don't have to be a superstar in order to be successful, that you can adopt whatever behaviors you can, and that you can still be successful. You can find your own area of success, but try not to incorporate or adopt behaviors that would continue your old negative cycles. Quell also made mention of that did hurt my feelings, and I think maybe I don't think it was intentional at all, but I think maybe she might have done what I did at times in my video, where she said something kind of flip or whatever and didn't realize the impact or how harsh it could come out. So she made mention of that that I was not teaching people the correct and positive way to approach their journey, that my way was unpositive, and that she was teaching people the correct and positive way. And I'm sure that was not meant to hurt me. It was not meant to come out that way, but it did hurt. And somebody else, Got Cake 29, said that my video was dry ass and it was unbearable sitting through it, listening to it. That stuff does hurt, but I guess I had it coming. And obviously I must have said some things like that that hurt others in the community, and like I said, I really do apologize for that. That was not my intention at all. Um, you know, it seems like the thread of what some people have gotten out of my videos is that I eat and drink whatever I want. Um, I do it all the time. I drink margaritas, which I don't remember mentioning any margaritas. I usually talk about daiquiris because I'm in New Orleans. Um, but that I eat and drink whatever I want, and I never exercise, and and all this stuff. And that I'm trying to tell everybody else that that's the way to do it. And I think, thinking back to my videos, I remember talking about what a loser I felt like, because I couldn't seem to get my fat, lazy ass up and exercise. I couldn't seem to get my fat, lazy, hungry, all the time ass up and go and eat some celery instead of a damn cheeseburger. Like, what I'm trying to say is that all that stuff is an opportunity for me to feel like a loser. And I have not been advocating at all not adopting healthy behaviors, eating whatever you want, not exercising. What I've been trying to say, and the message I've been trying to convey, is it's about moderation and adopting behaviors that you can maintain. Adopting behaviors that will become a lifestyle change and not something temporary. The problem with fad diets and things like that are you going to continue to maintain that kind of eating? And my thing is, you go on a severe Atkins diet and you're intentionally trying to reduce your carbohydrates to a severe amount, it is unlikely or unrealistic, in my opinion, that most people will be able to maintain that. So, number one, whenever you do Atkins and you reduce your carb intake and then you stop Atkins, you go back up, what happens? You put weight back on. How shitty are you going to feel about yourself? So you've perpetuated this negative response to yourself. And that was what I was trying to say, that I think that a lot of times when we take on these kind of behaviors, we are ensuring that we continue this cycle, this negative cycle of self-recrimination and feeling of failure. And so I've just been trying to advocate to others to try to avoid doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, I'm really sorry that I upset so many. It was not my intention to hurt anybody and have anybody think that I was making fun of them or anything like that. And obviously I handled myself in the wrong way, or made some statements in a way that, like I said, I just wasn't paying attention. It just came off really bad, and I apologize for that. And I hope that I've clarified for anybody who maybe has been following me all this time and they too have gotten the impression that they can get the surgery and then they don't have to do anything, that that's the way to go, or that's what I'm advocating, and that's not it at all. You have to do the work. For me, the brunt of my work has been mental. So it's been all of my issues, everything that's been in my head that's been keeping me from being successful and maintaining that success. And so that's what I've been focusing on, because that is what has been the biggest challenge and barrier to me. And the other part in that is learning then to accept me and love me and see the value in me and who I am, and what my strengths are, and not focusing all the time on things that I'm not strong at and will never be strong at, and so therefore will always end up coming up short on and feeling bad about. So I don't know. My message is really just for anybody out there who, you know, is dealing with the same mental, emotional struggles that, you know, have used food to hide themselves because of hurt and damage in the past, emotional hurt and damage in the past, and who have issues like mine that they are struggling with as they're trying to make their way and not just become thin, but become being themselves. And I haven't been myself in forever because I've been hiding behind so much shit. And so being me has been a very difficult process to learn how to be. So, thanks for watching.